Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by...
What is going on, people?
Tony.
You didn't even say my name.
I know. The people can read it, but the audio podcast, not so much. So Tony, would you like to introduce our very special guest?
I will. She has many accolades. She's an author, she's an actress, she's a model, a fellow podcaster, pretty much everything. Rheanon Nicole, aka Zombie Barbie on Instagram and probably everywhere else and such. How are
Pretty
you?
much everywhere else. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming on. You do a lot, like Tony said. You're keeping yourself busy, which is good, especially nowadays, right? With everything that's going on. So do you want to maybe talk about how did it all start for you? Did you start off with the podcast, or how did it all begin for you?
Oh man, so it goes back probably like 12 years. I originally started modeling, so I had wanted to model. I was hell bent on that's what I was going to do. It's very hard to even get in there. So I was published in Hungarian Tattoo magazine, and there was another magazine. I just can't remember the name because I'm put on the spot. So I was published in 2 magazines. And I was friends with a director on Facebook, and we were friends for like years. And we kind of talk back and forth and comment on stuff and whatever. And one day he wrote me and he's like, hey, have you ever acted? I'm like, nope. He's like, do you want to? Nope, I'm good. So then he's like, okay, well, I thought you might want to do it. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just want to model. I'm good. So he came back at me a little bit later, probably like a few weeks or something. He's like, are you sure you don't want to act? I'm like, I'm pretty positive I don't want to. And he's like, all right, how about we do this? I'll fly you down to California. I'll write a short film. We'll try it, do it. If you like it, great. If not, you never have to do it again. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went down there and it was awesome. Like as soon as I did it, I was in love with it. So I like acting, but I also like the behind the scenes things, especially with like indie film. Mm-hmm. You get to watch, how the makeup is done, how you make things work to get something on screen. You get to watch the editing. It's really cool to see all of that come together. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was like the funnest part. And then after that, I was like, all right, I want to do it.
Nice. And so, you had no training or anything before that. It was just kind of like, all right, I'm a fan of movies. I'm just going to learn what I saw and go from there.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was a stress case. It was...
I can imagine. Yeah.
It was horrible. I had never been in front of the camera before. So I had massive anxiety. I was scared to death. But there were 2 special effects artists, and they were with me and the director is great too. I'm really good friends with them. But it was like they were with me most of the time. So, they're talking me through stuff. They're helping me like know where to look. They were standing off in the distance and, like making like little hearts and saying, okay, look here, do this. So that kind of helped me. But oh man, I was so scared.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Like, it's like, I don't know. Like I overthink a lot of things myself. So sometimes I really psych myself out. Mm-hmm. And there was one time that Leo and we did a little thing for a movie for a friend of ours, and it was literally like a 5-second thing, and I was petrified, and it was horrible. It got cut out, and rightfully so, because it was really bad. But I totally respect that, like in people, like that they can actually go through and do that, because it's like the self-conscious. It's like I would just be thinking everyone's like, he's horrible. Like, yeah, that's all I would be thinking. That's what I think all the time now, anyways. But
oh no, you're great.
Yeah, but I guess it's kind of, doing this live, I guess, is on a different spectrum of I guess, a movie set where everything's in your face and everything. So I guess that could be the difference. But, I guess I do my walking videos and whatever. That's the furthest thing that I at that point in time when I do my stuff, it's like, okay, I know by the end of it, I'm going to look at it and be like, I look ridiculous. But, at that point in time, it's just like,
it's too late. You've already done it.
Exactly. At this point in time. Plus, so. But
I don't know. I mean, it's something that I'm very jealous of because I love movies and TV so much. I wish that I could do it, but I also don't want to ruin it for other people. I'm like, if I try to do it and I stink, I'm like, I just ruined how much time for these people that are trying to make this movie. Like,
no.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could do it, I would be totally cool. I mean, if it was like all people I knew, I could probably pull it off. If it's strangers, I'm like, this is not going to go well. Like I do panels and stuff at some cons. At least I did when there was cons, and it took a little while to get used to that as well. But I just figure it's like it's not about me, it's about them. So I just keep it in mind. I'm like, okay, I'm talking to this person. They're paying attention to them. They're not paying attention to me. So I'm good. That's how it works. Like if it was me, because I've done one with Elvira, and it's like they're not looking at me, they're looking at Elvira. Like they're not like looking at the guy just like
what do I do?
What? Like but it's I don't know. It is what it is. It's a special kind of person, and not everyone can do it. So it's good that you have multiple things you can do. That's awesome. Plus, you're an author.
I am an author. Well, and the funny thing is, so I've always loved to write. When I was younger, I think I was like 10 or 11. I was writing all those little books that you would write in school and stuff. And I started writing horror scripts. I mean, they were really terrible because I was like 11, but I was writing horror scripts. I was like, I'm going to write this. I'm going to be the main actress. I'm going to send it to Wes Craven. It's going to be amazing. I obviously never sent it to Wes Craven, but I was like hellbent. I was going to be a script writer, and I was going to have all these great horror movies because I've always been a horror movie fan.
Yeah.
So
like, is that going back to your youth, like that you've been a horror fan?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My mom's really big into horror movies and stuff. So, I mean, I was watching them when I was 5 years old.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So even if they scared me, I would still watch them.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, I think when you're a kid, it scares you so much to the point where it affected you. Like that's how it is with me. It affected me so much. It's like, now I'm like looking for that again. It's like chasing the dragon, it's like, I want to be terrified again.
Yeah.
I'm close, but yeah.
I don't know.
We know what's real.
I mean, for me, the first movie I watched was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So I guess it wasn't, wasn't that thing where it was like I got scared, because then it gradually, went into like The Exorcist and stuff like that. Now watching, a wide range of things. I mean, I think that's why I love the mix of horror and comedy, because I think Killer Clowns was one of the first ones that I remember watching. So I think that's why I love that the most. But, at the same time, it's like, I don't remember ever being so scared that it's like it affected me that much. So
lucky you.
Yeah.
Real quick though, I just want to say Jeff from The Talking Dead is in the chat room, and he's saying hi to everybody. So what's up, Jeff? And Sergio is also saying hello. So hi, Sergio, welcome back. And yeah, he's here all the time. So Sergio's the man. But yeah, so for me, I think the first movie that I remember that really, really got me was actually E.T. Scared the crap out of me when they pan through and he's like in the woods, whatever. and
it's creepy.
Yeah. Little fun fact: we had Dee Wallace on, and I told her that story, and she called me a pussy. I was like, I was 5, and she's like, all right, I take it back.
She's like, all right, you're a 5-year-old.
And after that, it's Poltergeist. Poltergeist is the next thing that terrified me. But so, do you remember the first movie that really kind of got you?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I was 5 years old, and I wasn't supposed to watch it, but I kind of like remember. I can't remember where we lived, but I remember the couch, and I remember my mom watching it with my stepdad. And it was a part where he was on fire and he was running up the stairs. And I had snuck in at some point, and I was watching from behind the couch, but I couldn't tell her. And I was fucking scared to death.
Yeah.
I had dreams I was terrified of him until I was probably, I want to say like 12 or 13. And then I had a nightmare about him. and suddenly I was obsessed with him. It was so weird.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. The early Nightmare stuff got me as well. I mean, in that movie, even though it looks really cheesy, like when his arms are stretching out in the
yeah,
it just doesn't look very, it doesn't look very
and he's
good
all
now.
scratched.
But at the time, I'm like, oh my god, like what? And then the whole Johnny Depp thing with the blood's coming out of the bed, I was just like,
the waterbed.
Yes,
Yep.
that was crazy. But yeah, and then like I've said it many times on the show before, but Candyman got me as well.
Me too.
Like whenever, like still to this day, when there's a big life change, like if I'm changing a job or whatever, I always have like a nightmare before, just because I'm just, it's a life change. So I'm like in my mind, I'm just whatever. And in that dream, usually when I meet somebody, they're shooting bees out of their mouth in that dream, and it's because of Candyman,
Oh
whatever.
shit.
Yeah,
that's a terrible dream. That would be horrible.
It is, but we've got to know Tony over the years as well, and he's a great guy. But at the same time, too, I'm like, you terrify me. So that's all. Good job.
Back your childhood.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's another thing too. Like you're getting to work with some people that, like I'm not sure like if you've worked with any like really big names that you're huge fans of, but you get to kind of rub elbows because of what you're doing, and you get to, these are just people. So
yeah, I haven't worked with them yet. I've talked to obviously a lot of them. I've been around a lot of them, but I haven't gotten to actually work with them yet.
Yeah.
So
there's
certain ones I'm really hoping to one day.
Yeah. The closest we get is this, so we do the podcast stuff and, rub elbows that way. And, but it's still, it's still pretty cool. These are people that you grew up loving. You still do, but it's, it's just weird. It's like, this was a huge part of my childhood, and now we're hanging out talking. This is crazy.
Yeah, and they're like normal. They're normal people.
Yeah, exactly. So, going back to you being an author, how many books do you have available? Because I was looking on your Amazon thing, and I have like all these ones. I'm following you on Amazon now, and
thank you.
and I have some Kindle stuff that I might be, using my gift card for shortly. So there you go. Yeah. But yeah, so how many books, and like, do you have like a is it like a series, or is it something where it's particular style of novels?
So right now I do have a series that's available, and so there's 3 of them. The third one just went live on Monday to get the Kindle version. So those are my babies. Those are the ones I've worked on for years. I mean, I think I started the series back in, I want to say like 2009. And it took me years to write the first book. And I want to say like 5 or 6 years. So then 3 of them are out right now. I might continue on and do one more. And then right now, I do have one that's going to be available in March. We're doing a box set with my publishing company. So there will be 4 at some point.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And is that going to be like a physical only release for the box set? Or are you going to do like a package deal through Kindle as well? Or
the box set, I believe, is only going to, at least when it's all together, all of our books are together, I believe it's going to be just digital. Oh. And so right now they're on pre-order. So it's 99 cents and you get 21 books. And it's
21 books?
21 books. Yep. USA Today bestselling authors, international bestselling authors.
For 99 cents.
99 cents. Yep. And you get 21 books. So it's called Possessed by Passion.
Wow. All right. That's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah.
Even if you're like one out of the 21 books, you got your money's worth.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're really trying to push it because we're trying to all become USA Today bestselling authors. Mm-hmm. And so, we're trying to really push the sales and get these pre-orders because that helps us get to the top and basically live our dream. We all want to be writers. So it's been great. So this is fun. I'm really excited for this one. So it's available on Apple Books, Kobo, Kindle, Nook. You can get it on Amazon right now as well. But mine is called His Soul to Keep. And then, all the other 20, there's some great ones. I've had the opportunity to read parts of them and it's like, holy shit, there's some really good ones.
Nice. So you get to be included in that group, which is pretty awesome. And that's a no-brainer. I'm going to have to grab that as well. So what is that one called?
It's called Possessed by Passion.
Okay.
And it's Crazy Ink Publishing is the publishing company.
Okay.
And so we have a website, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, and then we have an actual website, Possessed by Passion. So that's where all the links are at. You can get it. It tells you about the authors. It tells you about some of the books.
Nice. Yeah, I see it right here. 99 cents.
Yeah.
And the three that you have, what style is it? Like what does it fall under?
So it's paranormal fiction. It's kind of in between young adult, new adult. So new adult is like, it's explained as young adult for an older audience. So it's got, I have vampires, werewolves, gypsy curses, angels, demons. It's like all kind of meshed together, and it creates the entire story of the series.
Nice.
So yeah, so I have them right here in print. Of course I have to have my books printed. So there's Broken Halo. That's the first one. And then Broken Halo, Blood Curse. And then the third one that just released on Monday is Broken Halo, Witches Game. So there's witches in there too.
Nice. Nothing wrong with witches.
I love witches.
Yeah. there's sometimes the horror genres will like kind of grasp onto something and kind of overkill for a while, like clowns or whatever, and it's good to they were there was a little bit of time where there was some witch stuff going on, but there was just a lot of bad stuff coming out, so it's good every once in a while to see something new on the witch side. We actually one of the other guys that's part of the show, he couldn't be on tonight, the 13th Wolfman. We just reviewed a witch movie that's on Shudder, and it was all right. I mean, but it was a little different than what we're used to. So it was positive there,
Yeah.
So as far as your acting, you started off with that short film, and how many projects have you done since that first initial one back in the day?
I think total, even if it's just like a little tiny part, I have 14 total.
Nice.
Yeah. So I know it's like IMDb. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've actually done more than I thought. So majority of them have been short films. I've gotten involved with Morehouse Films, which is Josh and Sarah Schultz. They are incredible people. They act, they do everything. They have a podcast. They're amazing. So there's 3 of them that we did together. And then Tony Newton with Tony Newton Productions and Vestra Films.
Mm-hmm.
So we all kind of banded together. And during this whole COVID thing, we started doing them in quarantine.
Yeah. And there was a few that like on some of them, they're available right on YouTube, right? Like the was it the Morehouse Films ones? Those are available on YouTube.
Yeah. Yep. So Dark Web Mystery Box, it's available on YouTube, but it's also available for DVD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we all got our DVDs and stuff, and that's super cool because that's like the first DVD that I'm in. So I was like, okay, this is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. It's pretty. I mean, it's always like, we'll have people on and like they'll have their stuff at Walmart or whatever, and I'm like, I would just go to my local Walmart, stand there, and just like point, like, huh? That's me.
Like, look.
Right there.
You get this one right here.
Yeah.
Huh, that's weird. You can get this movie for this price. You can get 2 of this movie for the same price. Weird. All right, yeah, let's do that. No, but I mean, it just must be very cool. Like that would be a huge thing for me as well. So that's pretty great. And Sean Phillips has been in a couple of them with you as well, who's a YouTuber that he actually is what got me into YouTube. Him and one of the other guys, Wet Movie One, they were the reasons I started watching. I was obsessed with those guys for a bit, like with their videos. Yeah,
I think anybody cool. I think anybody that has somewhat of a collection or knows movies, I think might have started from Cool Dude or Wet Movie or the main people that I didn't know. In my town, I'm one of the only people that collect movies. So I thought, not many people did, but then you find out that people have, gigantic collections or love movies as much as I do. So it's one of those things where, it kind of gravitated towards it.
Yeah. But it's just, it's cool to like see him doing other things as well. Like I know he's done a couple, like a, handful of movies and stuff too, but it's cool that he's doing them during quarantine too. He's doing them right in his own like room where his collection's at. So it's cool. He doesn't even have to leave the house. It's pretty awesome.
And it's like one hell of a collection too. I was shocked at how many damn movies he has.
Yeah,
There's
he's got a lot. He's the reason, well, not just him, but getting into the videos and they're like explaining the deals that they're finding, and then I go out and I find them as well, and I'm like, oh, cool, you've created so much credit card debt. It's not even. But I wouldn't give it up for the world. Like they're all still here, So whatever, it is what it is. My wife, on the other hand, is not too happy about it. But hey, you know what? She signed up for
it. She knew what she was getting into.
Exactly.
So with your acting chops, is every movie as you progress, does it get easier, or is everything a little bit different? Like I'm sure every movie's, kind of different, but is it the same at all? Like, do you take, what you learned from one film to the next, or how does it work?
It has definitely gotten easier. So the director I was talking about earlier that had started me with this, his name is Antonio Flores. So, I went down there not knowing anybody. I didn't know him well. I had never met him in person. So I was a wreck. And I worked with him twice on movies. I also did a music video with him. So the movies there was even a part where I kind of got in my own head and I was like, I'm going to forget my lines. Like, I know I'm going to forget my lines. And I fucking forgot them. So I'm laying there like, it wasn't even my turn yet, for me to do my part. And I'm freaking out and my heart's pounding. My hands are sweating. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then somehow it just clicked and I got it and I was fine. So nobody knew anything was wrong, but I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gotten easier. I mean, I have anxiety anyways. So I still get, even this gave me anxiety coming on live. I'm like, holy shit, it's live. Like, okay, what am I going to do? But it's gotten easier as far as I've gotten better with my memory, remembering things. The quarantine films have made it really easy because we really got to kind of do our own thing. And so that's easier as well because you know what you're doing and kind of where you're headed. So now I don't freak out so much like when I go on a set and I feel like, meeting new people, I'm not as scared to do it. But yeah, it definitely has gotten easier though. That's for sure. Cause there were some times I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, I have a horrible memory in general. So there's no way I'd be able to remember lines. Like I would have to find something that would be like, here's point A, here's point B, get there. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. So
no, it's like maybe I'll get big enough where I can have people feeding me my lines, like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's got like an earpiece in, and they just tell him his lines. And I was like, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Or just like giant cue cards everywhere.
Yeah. See, that would be super easy.
That would be. Oh well, maybe one day. Or maybe the augmented reality will have glasses that'll have the lines like in our lenses as we're talking.
Have like what do you call it? Contact lenses with like
and it's all running across your eye.
Just gonna say, let's start a company and patent this. Am I right, guys?
We can make a lot of money on that. Well, honestly, what had started me getting more comfortable in front of the camera and in general, I did do a local television show. It was a horror show.
Oh,
so
nice.
I hosted a horror show here on TV, and that's how I got really comfortable. Because, of course, the first time I went in, I was like, oh, shit. But then, like, I learned how to use the teleprompter. I got to kind of write my own scripts and facts and trivia and stuff for the movies. And so that got me used to being constantly in front of the camera, constantly talking, and then walking in with new people. It's like I didn't know anybody when I walked in.
So it was a horror host kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was called What The? And so I don't know if we can still find the episodes anymore. Because for a while they were on YouTube as well. Like they would, we'd air them on local television, and then like a couple days later they'd be on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if they're still up anymore.
Oh, how long did you do that for?
I want to say I did it like a year and a half, 2 years.
Nice. And was it something is it something that you put together yourself, or was it just your local TV station looking for somebody, or?
It was kind of both. So they found me is what happened. So we have a horror film festival here, the Idaho Horror Film Festival. And so I went there I think it was like the first year I had gone. And there was a guy there that was, taking all the pictures of celebrities and stuff. And there was like that backdrop and this and that. So me and my mom went together. And so we took pictures and stuff. And I think that was the year I got to finally meet Bill Oberst in person. So we went and hung out and had coffee, and it was so much fun. But the guy that was taking the pictures, he had taken my number to give me our pictures. So like a year later, he contacts me and he's like, hey, I'm working with this TV station. They want a horror host. Would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So his name's Brad Smith. He actually is the one that filmed Dark Web Mystery Box, Amityville Hex, and Witchcast. So he's one of my best friends.
That's great. And that's really cool. I wish there was more of that around. I mean, there's a few of them that pop up here and there, but I don't know. It's. I mean, obviously we have on Shudder. What's his name there?
Bob
Briggs.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it would be cool to have like local.
Yeah.
We should look into that. We should do that.
We need to start that too.
Yeah.
It really is.
The glasses thing. We'll be thousandaires in no time. Quick.
Oh yeah.
100-aires.
We need to go for billionaires. We want to be billionaires.
So is that where your podcasting came from? What, for like a little spin-off of the show, or how'd you get into podcasting?
Oh man, that's a whole nother story. So I can't remember how I got involved with him, but Horror with Sir Sturdy. Have you guys heard of that podcast?
Yep. I've heard of it.
So he's a good friend of mine too. I think he had contacted me. I can't quite remember, but he wanted me as a guest. So I came on as a guest, and then I went on there a few different times. At one point I was his co-host. We did that for a while. And then I thought I want to try it and do it myself.
Nice. Actually, I think this was going back maybe like 2 years ago. There was a podcaster awards that actually the Dorkening Podcast Network kind of put together for Scaricon. And I want to say that podcast, the Sir Sturdy one, entered. I think that's how I knew of him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I knew of it. We had like Fangoria was voting and stuff like that. We had like a lot of cool like judges, and we were gonna continue to do it, and then the pandemic happened, and now Scaricon I think is done. I think he's not doing it anymore after this is all done, which stinks because it's a great show. It's a great con. But it stinks because I used to moderate a lot for those shows, and like up in he'd do them in New York and in Massachusetts, and I would go to both. But I don't know. I'm just hoping that when this thing's all done, we can try to get back to a little bit of normalcy.
I sure hope so. Cons are fun, and that in film festivals, I miss that. You get to meet so many cool people, and you get to meet other people in the business. It really sucks that we haven't been able to do that. Yes. And like you said, that one is not going to continue anymore. Like, hopefully they don't do that. I hope they all come back.
Well, I think that they were on that. I think he was thinking that before the pandemic happened too. I think he may have been done before him, but I think this is just kind of like, like the kind of nail in the coffin kind of thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sergio is asking what your favorite horror movie is. You've already kind of said, you said that the first one that scared you was Nightmare on Elm Street, but what would you say your all-time favorite horror movie would be?
My all-time favorite is Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. I am a Fredhead.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Like, I can watch the entire series over and over and over, and I never get tired of it. I love Nightmare. Right.
So growing up, I was a Nightmare kid for real. Like, I was all about Freddy Krueger, and I was kind of not a Friday the 13th guy. Mm-hmm. As I got older, I think things changed a bit, and like I think I find more Friday the 13th movies like holding up. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the early Nightmare stuff, but it does kind of fall apart towards the end.
It does.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow, his makeup is just not good anymore. And I'm like, Roseanne Barr is in this one. I'm like, why? It's like, like there's no reason for that. But I don't know. But still, the early ones, like I would say probably up to like 4, I think, are solid movies. Still some really messed up stuff. Like I think it was Dream Warriors where like he's doing like the marionette thing and cuts the that still grosses me out.
Me too.
Yeah. But yeah, so there you go, Sergio. It's Nightmare on Elm Street.
And Evil Dead is next. So it's nice. I love Evil Dead.
Nice.
All of them.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the play? Evil Dead the musical?
Yes. Yeah, we had one here, and that was, and like they get the blood all over you in the audience and stuff.
Yeah. We had it at a local theater here too, like a little touring group or whatever. And it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had at a play. Like like we were front row, so we were soaked.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was great. Like, don't wear clothes that you like. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Do you have to sign like a waiver or something?
No. I mean, stuff will come out, but you're sticky and gross. Because I want to say it was like, I don't know if it was Kool-Aid or if it was like, like Jell-O mix or something. But it was it was just, you were very sticky on the way out for sure. And but yeah, it was a really good time. So that's another thing I hope comes back around.
I know. I love plays and musicals so much.
Same. Oh man, I'm just getting depressed. Sorry, go ahead, Tony. You look like you were going to say something.
Well, this is going back to, we were talking about your books. We were talking about all the other things you do. And you mentioned a music video. So is that something else that you're, I mean, like I said, you have a bag of tricks of everything, a little, do everything with the, you were mentioning before the show, a music video you want to talk about. You want to talk about that one?
Yes. So I just went down to Texas, and Billy Blair, who is an actor, an incredible actor, he has a band called LSD, Love Sick Drug. So I went down there to do a music video. I want to say it was like a month ago, maybe a little bit less. So it's not out yet, but it's going to be pretty badass.
Nice. What kind of music is it?
It's kind of like, sorry if I butcher it, Billy, if you're watching this. It's kind of like metal, but I don't quite know. It's not like screamo metal. They do have an Instagram. And they like upload, they have a website and everything where you can like get on there and listen to their stuff. Super cool. They do really cool videos.
Nice. What can you talk about what the video, like what you do in the video?
It's very kind of naked.
Oh,
so like I don't know how much I can say about it because it's not done yet, but
kind of naked. It's a music video, so it can't be all naked. It can be kind of.
It's very sexy.
Okay. You know who else? One of your friends was in a music video that I'm a big fan of, and that was Bill Oberst Jr. He was in a Mastodon music video.
Oh shit!
Called "Curl of the Burl," and it's like my favorite video for that band, and he's in it. And it's funny too because it's kind of like a play on Evil Dead, so it's kind of similar in that sense. But it's it's really good. "Curl of the Burl," check it out.
"Curl of the Burl," I'll have to watch that.
By Mastodon, featuring Bill Oberst Jr.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. Being you were saying you were young and trying to get your you write books and wanted to send them to Wes Craven and everything. With the 3 books that you have now, is it, in the realm of possibility that you might want to see them on film kind of deal? Or is it one of those things you just want to keep it, to the books, almost like, its own entity?
I would love to have it as a movie. It would be incredible. Another friend of mine, Christopher Inlow, he's an actor, great actor. He had read it and he was like, it would be great if we could turn this into a movie. Obviously it's hard to turn things into movies, because you got to have the money and the funding and stuff, but I would love to see it on the screen. That would be incredible.
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, it's something where, you don't necessarily have to direct it. I mean, I don't know are you interested in directing?
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've held the camera before for like videos, but because like one of the music videos I did have to film the director's parts, and he was also the singer of the band. Mm-hmm. So that was okay. But as far as like knowing where you need to stand and knowing the way you need to move and talk, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
It's a hard job.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, that's why there's only so many of them out there that are successful. It's tough. But yeah, I mean,
but you also didn't want to act in the beginning, and now look at yourself. So maybe let me just jump into it like I jumped into my acting career. So
who knows? I mean, you're getting into producing and stuff too. So it's like maybe down the road, like you're producing, maybe they're like, oh well, let's make you like second unit director on something, and you do some pickup or whatever. Then all of a sudden you're like, this is my jam.
That could be too. That would be awesome.
That'd be great. And that's one of the things that we like to see. Like that's, we mention it all the time, but I like to see the progression of people. That's why, like I was saying, we go anywhere from like first time filmmakers up to like horror legends in our eyes. Because first time filmmakers, you get to see what they do first, and then you see their next project and the project after that, and it's just like, wow, they're improving like with every project. And and one thing that we also always say too, like even with a first film, like a lot of them are filled with flaws. Like there's a lot of mistakes or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's still better than anything I've ever made, because I've never made anything. So you win, you've outdone me. So, but yeah, and I respect it. I totally respect it. And, I'm a fan in general. So I'm always here to support, Me
too. Like I'll watch anything, I love indie film, just because for one, it could be that one actor, actress's first break that gets them to the top, or it can be the director's first film and suddenly he makes it big, or it gets him a whole different opportunity. It's just so cool to like you said, watch them progress basically. And just in general, I like watching indie film just because I know what goes into it to make a film. It's not easy. It's hard. It takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of fuck ups.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of big time filmmakers. Like they all started from somewhere. And they just come right out of the bat making Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back and watch
Bad Taste,
and like the haircuts changed throughout the scene because he filmed it over like a couple of years.
Yep.
And continuity isn't there, but it's still a movie.
I think we say it a lot whenever we have, like Kevin was saying, up and comers or people that make, majority, lower budget stuff. And it's like, people don't, your average everyday film watcher, just have no clue. And it's just one of those things where, especially on a low budget film, so many things could change. You have a limited time to tape it or film it. And then, weather is a factor or something, you run out of money here or there, or an actor or actress drops off or anything. Like before I did the podcast, you said you kind of went on as a guest and then you kind of rolled from there. I was the same thing. I used to watch Kevin and Leo and the 13th Wolfman and all that. I used to watch these guys as a horror fan because they would have so many people on and they would give away prizes, and they're like, oh, you keep on winning, so how about you just come on? So I was like, oh, sure. Being able to sit down, watch a movie, and then be able to talk to the people behind it. And it's just like one of those things where I don't want to say I was one of those, like, would rip apart a movie, but I didn't have the same eyes, I guess, that I do now. Like when I watch something now, I watch it completely different than I did before, sitting down with the person who made it, or even if I don't talk to the director or whatever, I look at a film so differently than I used to. So.
Yeah, me too, definitely. They put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and then like you see all these people that they're so quick to judge and say shitty things, and it's like, you don't know how hard it was for him or her, to make that film. You go make one.
Exactly. And then the amount of people that just have bad stuff to say, but there's nothing behind what they're saying. Like they just go, oh, it's a piece of garbage. Why? Like, why do you think it's a piece of garbage? What don't you like about it? Like, be constructive. Like, I don't know. It's very, it's I don't know. It just drives me crazy. It's like some of my favorite movies of all time, people would be able to tear apart. Like I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's tons of flaws in that movie. I love it. But it's, it's a great movie. But at the same time too, like, there's this, I don't know, just so many like low budget like things that I absolutely love that people could tear apart, but they don't say anything about it. Like I was talking about Death House like before we went live, and that's a very 50-50 camp right there. A lot of people either really like Death House or they hated it. And it's like and we actually we kind of followed along with the whole production for a while. We did a documentary about the making of it. We did we hosted like screenings and stuff like that, and we'd have people like at the end of it with a camera in front of them being like, what did you think of the movie? And they're like, I didn't like it. What didn't you like? I just didn't like it. But what? The director's right there. He'll talk to you about it. Like Harrison would be all about talking to you about it. and no one would even go up to him and say anything. It's like he wants to know what you didn't like about it. Like he wants to know.
They don't even know. They're just like, well, I don't know. Just don't like it.
I read on the internet that I shouldn't like it, so that's why I don't.
Well, that's a beauty, and the ugliness of the internet is, it's a with social media and everything. It's a good outlet to get it out there. Indie film kind of needs that, reviewers or people to just push it a little bit, because what goes into the budget of making a film, they don't have the budget of these big box office things to have commercials and stuff. So a lot of the time people don't hear it, but so social media, that point is a good thing. But then you get the people that it's very easy to sit behind a keyboard and write whatever you want to, until you actually have to go up and say something to said person or whatever. And then most people are like, it's like, okay, well, tell them what you just said. Go ahead. Yeah. Tell them what you were writing on the internet.
They're not going to learn until, if they don't, if it's a general flaw, they need to hear about it. They've been, maybe they're surrounded by yes men, and they just, people like, you're awesome, you're the best, whatever. Then it's like, all right, it stinks, whatever. I don't know, it just drives me crazy. But speaking of low budget, like it's because we only have about 20 minutes left. I definitely wanted to play this. We have a trailer for Dark Web Mystery, and yeah, it's a short trailer, so we'll be back in less than a minute. But do you just want to introduce the trailer for everybody?
Yeah, so this is the one I was talking about that was Morehouse Films and Vestra Films. So this was the first quarantine movie. So we've gotten a lot of reviews on it. There's some great actors in it that I was very fortunate. We didn't get to meet in person, but it was great to be able to have your name attached to them, that, I got to work with them. So it was fun. It was the first quarantine film I had done. So I'm happy with it. It was cool.
Nice. And I believe the full movie's available right now on YouTube. So you just go do a search. It's like a little over an hour long. So it's, it's right there. Worth checking. So here you go. Here's the trailer for Dark Web Mystery.
You guys are fucking disgusting. Whoever sent me that fucking gross ass tape.
There you go. Sean Phillips swearing like a champion in that trailer. Way to go, Sean. You just got us the old explicit rating. I'm just kidding.
And those who are physical media, gurus or collectors or whatever you want to call it, you said it is also out for physical media too, correct? On DVD?
Yep. So if you go to Morehouse Films and I believe Grave Dirt Clothing, you can get that. You can get posters. I want to say there's like stickers and stuff too, but yeah, you can get the physical copy. I think at one point there was a box set too, that you could get that. You could get a shirt, you could get a poster. I don't know if they still have it, but they did at one point have it.
How cool would it be like if this whole thing ends and we have the cons again, and you guys can actually be at a con, meet each other, and then people can go and have their copies signed. How great would that be?
That would be incredible. Yeah. I would love that. That would be super cool.
That's one thing I love too. I love that whole like being able to support like in person, the small films and stuff like that. It's great.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So what else do you have in the works? I know it's tough with the whole pandemic and everything. I mean, you have the new book, the new 99-cent pre-sale that I've already done, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And it's besides that, do you have anything else in the works? I know you have some other projects that are like still in like post-production or filming, stuff like that. So what else are you working on?
So we are working on a film called Go Straight to Hell. We are in the very, very beginning stages. But I'm so excited for this one. So I'm actually going on Friday with my producer, Scott Sanford, who we're going to start kind of working on some of the scripts, some of our ideas, funding, all of that stuff. So eventually we'll start putting more out there, but it's going to be a full feature film. It's dark, it's twisted, and I'm so excited.
Nice. Any idea on? I mean, I know it's hard to say. I don't even know why I'm asking, because everything's so up in the air right now. It's crazy. But do you guys have an idea when you may want to start doing things? And is it something where you're going to try to do it like a pandemic film, where people are filming their own separate thing, or are you going to try to get it to work all together?
We're trying to do it like normal movies. Yeah, we'll just have to do like the COVID compliancy and stuff like that. Our goal is to start springtime to start filming. Based on how everything keeps changing pandemic wise, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're already starting to work on things. So I'm just hoping that it plows through and we're able to be on track with it. Yeah.
I mean, there's the one good thing about the pandemic, which if there is any good thing about it, but people are watching more. So there's a lot out there, and we've mentioned too, and I don't know if it's anything you've looked into, but like Tubi. Yeah, and it's, from what we understand, from what we've been told by some other directors, is that it's the best payout that they've seen is on Tubi, as opposed to Amazon or Netflix or anything. Like, they make more per view on Tubi than you do anything else.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I guess it's not that hard to get your stuff up there as well. So just keeping it out there, there's a movie that actually it's Don't F in the Woods. I know that, and the director said that he's like, the only real money he's seen from that movie has been through Tubi.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's pretty great. I mean, you have to watch ads. So what? The amount of independent horror that's on there, it's like, it's worth it. I mean, it's free. It's
Yeah. There's so much on there.
Yeah, there is. It's pretty great.
But then Shudder as well. I mean, at that point in time, I mean, there's so many that now have come out on physical media, but there's a lot of movies that, Shudder originals and stuff that, they're in the beginning, I know when I was checking it out, it was a lot of the, the classic horror and stuff like that, but now it's coming out with original stuff, original series.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind too, the Shudder is like under the umbrella of AMC, so it's they have like a bigger parent company that's kind of controlling things, and I love Shudder. I watch it constantly, so it's whatever. But at the same time too, it may not be as easy to get independent stuff on Shudder, unfortunately. But I don't know. It just, I guess, if the only good thing that came out of this is that there's like somewhat of a better outlet. But at the same time too, for the collectors out there, it's tougher because there isn't as much being released physical media anymore. But I think that the real horror fans, they can still find it, because the horror directors out there know that their fans want to collect. So
Yeah. I was actually surprised at the amount of people that do VHS collecting.
Oh, yeah.
Those are expensive. And you see these people have stacks and stacks of horror VHSs, and those are so expensive now.
Yeah. I know people that have a collection of VHS. Well, I have a couple shelves of VHS too, and I don't own a VCR, so I can't even watch them. But they're not they're all old ones that I had for years.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to all right, I need this many copies of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This one has a different cover, so I need that one as well. And then Evil Dead, same deal. All these different movies. I'm like, all right, well, I have The Usual Suspects from the 2 VHS set, and then I have the Blu-ray and the DVD and whatever.
Life of a collector, especially with movies that you enjoy. It's like, oh well, this one has an alternate cover. This one has some alternate special features, and this one. At that point in time,
literally I have a printed piece of paper. The disc is exactly the same. It's just the cover's different.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I have 4 or 5 copies of the Goonies.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But it's just one of those things where you collect for what you collect, and it's one of those things that the thing that I think drew me to movies was always the cover art. Going into a Blockbuster or a local video store, you walk in there and you're like, that's why I love physical media, is because you pick it up, you get to hold it, you get to look at it. Digital is fine. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. You could just, flip through it. But there's a difference between that and actually holding the actual physical copy and looking at the cover art and being able to I don't know, it's just so different.
Yeah,
so
it is. It is. You're not like a physical media collector, right? Like you're not as much as like someone like Sean Phillips, but are you a collector of like memorabilia or anything? Like you have some stuff on the wall. Is there anything in particular that you always look out for?
I actually am not a collector too much of memorabilia. Like I have a few like signed posters and stuff. I don't have them hanging up just because my room is kind of girly and that's where I'm at right now. I have my Bruce Campbell, an artist friend of mine here in Idaho, made this for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Bruce Campbell. So I have that. I have like my old R.L. Stein books and stuff like that. And then I have like my DVDs are all over there, but I definitely don't have as many as you. I just buy like the ones that I really love. So
yeah, well, I wish I did as well. But then it's just like, oh, this is a really good deal. I'll just get all of it. Like, I'll never watch this, but I have it.
Well, at least I got it.
Yeah.
So have you ever met Bruce?
No, I want to meet him so bad. So a couple years ago, right before they did Ash versus Evil Dead, he was supposed to be hosting a reality show. And it was where we got to go out into the cabin and you stayed in the cabin and there was like horror trivia and he was the host. And so I had the interview for it. I talked to the producers, all that shit. And then he couldn't do it. I was like, shit, there goes my chance.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Cause I have met him multiple times. He is phenomenal. Like he's a really good time. And if you're at a con that he's at and he's doing a Q&A, get to the Q&A. Like it is ridiculous. It's like a comedy show. He's hilarious. Man.
I love him.
Yep. The first time I met him was when his I think it was his first book, If Chins Could Kill, story movie actor. He was doing a book signing at a local bookstore. And I went and met him and he sat down with everybody for like a good 5-10 minutes each.
Wow.
Like, so the line took forever, but we got to sit down with him. And like the first thing I said to him was like, hey, is Crime Wave ever going to come out on DVD in America? Because at the time it was only in Malaysia. You get it on VHS, but not in DVD. He's like, you like that piece of garbage? I'm like, I do.
I really do.
He's like, well, you're the only one. I'm like, that's not true. And then like the next time I met him, I like to think he remembered me. I doubt he did, but I was just like, hey, last time I asked you about Crime Wave, any update on that? And he's like, considering you're the only person who ever asked me that, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, oh, you made it sound like he remembered me.
He remembered you.
No, he didn't. So that's actually the prized possession I have in my collection is the Book of the Dead for Evil Dead 1 is I have that the one that like it's like rubber and it's the
screams. Does it still scream?
No, it doesn't scream. But I have it signed by the entire cast. I've met everyone in the first movie. It's also probably the most expensive piece of memorabilia I have too, because you got to think each signature was at least $25. You know, so. Yeah, that's my prized possession. It's all bagged up back there.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, well, it's falling apart too, so it just stinks. So like the latex is like crumbling, but whatever.
Oh no!
I don't care. It's still awesome.
You're like, at least I got it.
So just real quick because we are going to be wrapping up in a couple minutes. Is there anything like so? How would you? Like with your books, I know it's tough. Like it's tough for like actors to be like, oh, if you like this movie, you'll like this movie. If there's anyone out there that you're trying to sell your books to, how would you describe them as far as like, are you similar to any other kind of author that's out there that it's tough to say, right?
It is tough to say. I love so many authors. And then it's like, all of them are somewhat similar in a way, I mean, it's not as, I guess, teenage as Twilight would be. But it's not like super adult where, it's like, erotica or anything like that. It's kind of in between. It's, oh man, I don't know. It's just like it's like a mixture. It's not like Vampire Diaries or anything like that. I don't really know.
If someone's a fan of that kind of writing, do you think that they would like your stuff too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Definitely. Like it's not like them, but it's kind of in that same world and that same genre.
Okay. So it's good to know. So if you're a reader out there and you're listening or watching, because this audio is going to go up in a couple of weeks as well, definitely go check it out. And that pre-sale for the Amazon Kindle or whatever for the 99 cents for 21 books.
Yes, 21 books. And these are actually, they're kind of paranormal romance, a little bit more adult. So that was a whole different writing style for me.
Nice.
So definitely not like Broken Halo.
How many pages on average are your books?
The first Broken Halo, I want to say, I think it's like 300 and something.
That's
my first one is 407. My second one is about 300. And then my third one was a little bit thinner, but it was 263.
Wow. No, that's very impressive. Like, it's one thing I could never, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. I have a hard enough time reading, let alone writing.
Yeah. It took a long time for the first one. It's gotten easier now that I have, a publisher and deadlines and stuff like that. So
like forcing yourself to all right, I got to do this. No more just doing other things.
Yeah. You can't
do you have any advice for anyone out there? I mean, you do it all. Do you have any advice for, anybody who wants to become an actress or a model or an author or producer or podcaster?
Oh man, honestly, and I'm sure everybody says it. Don't give up, keep trying, get involved in groups and pages and, become friends with people that are in the business and just talk to them and just constantly put yourself out there. It's like, I'm not huge or anything like that, but it's, I'm not going to give up on that. So, if you write and submit, and eventually you're going to find somebody that's going to pick you up. Acting, get in there, talk to producers, talk to directors, talk to the actors and actresses. And, that's how you get in there. Social media has been a godsend, honestly.
Yeah.
It's going crazy now, but it's awesome. That's how you connect to like everybody. I've made some great friends on social media.
Well, that's to be honest with you, that's how we met Tony. That's how there's a lot of people, like everyone pretty much that's involved in the show. Like none of it, like he's in New Jersey, I'm in Massachusetts. We've never met each other in real life. Our other guys who's under the weather, he's in Washington State. We've never met him. It's like, it's weird, but at the same time too, it's awesome because it's like, I feel like Tony's a friend. Like he's not just an acquaintance, he's a friend. So it's like, thanks to social media, I'm in New Jersey now.
Well, it's so much easier to get involved in things now as it used to be. Back when I was, 11 years old writing stuff, you had to get like the almanac and look for these people's addresses and shit to send stuff to.
Oh, yeah.
Query letters and all that. It's like now everything is online. It's so much easier.
Yeah. Like Tony says, like the way that we get a lot of these guests is that we ask. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, do you want to do this? And they either say yes or no. And if they say yes, cool. But that's the thing is, think of how trying to track down these people in the time before internet. Well, Tony's definitely way too young for that, but
no, I was there before internet.
Yeah, but it's it's I can't even imagine like trying to do that. I mean, I know like with IMDb you can like get so much information as IMDb Pro where you can get people's agents and stuff like that, but at the same time too, you're almost better off going directly to the person that you want to talk to.
Yeah,
and it's a little easier now because of the internet. But
yeah, and shockingly, a lot of them will answer you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's weird. Like, and the one thing too is, especially me as a fan, like it's like exciting when they answer me. I'm like, oh my god,
your heart's all beating and you're all excited.
Yeah, there's some like actresses and actors that I follow on Instagram, and if I like one of their posts, they'll automatically just go like one of mine. I don't want them to, but they don't have to. But I'm like, that's pretty great. Like she's in all these movies, and every time I like one of her things, she goes and likes one of mine. So it's like, I'll trade you.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it crazy how literally I'll buy a movie, and then what I like to do is I'll take a picture of it and tag everybody that's in there. And they're the ones thanking me. I'm like, I'm thanking you because I just watched a really good movie, and you're thanking me because, like I said before, it's especially with indie film, they don't have that much publicity. So the more I look at it, I see where they're coming from, but still for me, it's no big deal. It's like I would have did that anyway kind of deal where I just post a picture, I tag everybody in it, and it's like, oh my God, I can't thank you enough I'm like, it's just a picture. But the more I look at it, it's like, okay, if I have, how many people on Instagram and they look at the picture and they're like, what's that movie about? That's, I guess, technically free publicity for them, but it's something I would have did anyway. So
we're gonna be wrapping up in a minute. I just want to. I totally was not even looking at the comments. We have a few in there, so I'm not sure who that is, but they said that whatever that is. So thank you. I don't know what that means.
Unless it's Z from Shudder. That's another movie on Shudder.
Maybe. And Angel from That Strange Show, Hello People of Earth. And this is after we did the trailer. Sergio said it looks like a good movie. So yeah, Sergio, it's and you can go check it out right now on YouTube for free.
Heck yeah.
Go do it as soon as we're done here.
But and then right after that, you can go and buy the DVD and add it to your collection.
Yeah, you'll have it at home.
Exactly. Do it up. So so where can people find you on social media? Like, where do you interact with your fans, and where can people see what you're up to?
So I interact more. Me and my co-host have Sinister Parlour Podcast. So we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. I'm on there more than I am on my normal Facebook. If you want, my normal Facebook is just Rheanon Nicole. Instagram is Zombie Barbie 13 or Sinister Parlour Podcast as well. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And that's pretty much, I am on Twitter. I'm not on there very often though. Twitter.
Yeah, a lot of people are, I'm done with Twitter. I've been done with Twitter for a while.
Yeah. I won't check it for like a month. So
yeah, same here. I go on there and I'm like, oh, this is the same stuff I was just, I have to hit refresh. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's hard. So
I don't like it. But anyways, so go check out Rheanon at all those places. And Tony, where can people find you?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. You'll find on Tony Has Nine Fingers. Same thing with Twitter. I have one, but I don't use it. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. Like I said, I tag people. Look for it. I try to do more indie, add indie stuff to my collection, so you'll maybe find movies you never seen before. And of course, you can find me here every Tuesday, or most Tuesday nights, and some Saturdays here on the Wicked Horror Show. Kevin.
Yeah. A-Knuckle on Instagram, and also obviously part of this show, and doing reviews with the 13th Wolfman over on the audio side, and part of Black and White Fright and Secret Underground Hideout, all of which are on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Go to thedorkening.com for more information on that. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone, and have a good night. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.